But you know what you have to do locally? You have to let Nginx deal with the static files. They are the ones that have to serve the static files, not Django. That's what they don't tell you when you're working in Django. You think, oh, I'm using Django templates. Django will render everything on the server side and serve static files for whomever requests it, right? Wrong. Okay, that puts a lot of server load on Django's end, and uh, it's not scalable, basically. So, great. Static files have to go to Nginx, and they're the ones that give everyone the pretty layouts that you've made in Django templates. It doesn't make sense to me. I understand why you do it. Why is it set up that you can do it in Django templates anyway? Whatever, whatever. Get that sorted out. Now they're all talking to each other locally. It's all good. And then I turn off debug equals true, and that breaks everything. It breaks everything. Yeah, that's kind of out of order. The debug equals true actually came before Nginx, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It breaks everything. So I realize I'm going to have to configure Nginx again and again and again with each deployment, with each update, if I'm not containerizing it. I was thinking it would be some really good Ansible practice, right? You get everything onto a server, you use Ansible to configure everything, get it up and running. Super awesome. And then as I'm doing that manually, just to walk through the steps, and later I can document it and put it all into a playbook, right? I'm realizing this is a big headache. This is just one big headache. Why would you do it this way? I mean, practice is great and all, but this is not scalable. This is not you're So that was a learning experience and great. So containerizing is the way to go. Put it in a Docker container. There's pros and cons. You don't have to do this every time. I'm just going to do it because then I only have to do things once. And once it's done, just throw that image somewhere and make it run over there. It'll work out. It'll work out. Just containerize it. So, great. What's that mean? Got to put it into Docker containers. Really not an issue. It's really not hard. Docker files make sense. Docker build, Docker run, Docker remove, all that. It's not a problem. But getting them to communicate just right, it took a second because now that Django is in debug equals false mode and it requires a lot of permissions for who can talk to it and CSRF token authentication and whatnot. So you end up loading the website locally and it's like you can't access none of this. And we don't trust who's Nginx? Who is this? No, I'm not loading anything. So then I go down this rabbit hole here. Let me read you some stuff. Uh, just like session cookie secures and CSRF cookie secure. Oh, hey, trusted origins. Yeah, I have allowed hosts in Django. Now I need trusted origins as well for the CSRF token. Okay, I understand why. I get that. Learning opportunity. I'm a little bit better with Django. Awesome. It takes me the better part of a working day to figure out why I can't load certain parts of the website. Two Docker containers running locally. Really not that difficult. Uh, they're talking, it loads the website, still can't load some of the data hidden behind form submission. So, okay, that's fine. I, if I can't figure this out, you can't deploy these two containers to some foreign instance, right? You've got to you got to figure it out locally, and then you can deploy it, and you can debug whatever issues come from there. Because obviously, your local machine is not some EC2 instance out there. Things are going to be different in different environments, and that's totally fine. But you get it running locally, and just problem after problem is basically what it boils down to. Things that you just don't foresee coming. You're building something simple, and then yeah, just wrenches in the gears. So I kind of wanted to start this all all over the place, kind of what's the word, manic in a way, because I feel a little manic. I finally got them talking. I got everything to load. CSRF token authentication, however you want to sum that up, it works now. My TPS reports are done for the day, so I was able to actually pivot to that and kind of keep debugging, and it works. Everything loads. Awesome. Yay. You think you understand the whole process of like, here's the engineering part of it, you're building the app, and then here's the deployment part of it, and then here's the containerization and networking and getting everything to talk, right? But then when you actually dive in and do it, there's a lot of little nuances. And it all comes down to experience, really. That's all it is. Like, you can study documents and practice all you want, but until you're actually fixing a real world problem, it's those little things that just cement the knowledge. Like, I didn't build some crazy crazy machine learning app right now. No, I was just trying to figure out why service 1 and service 2 aren't talking. Like, why they won't communicate. And great. Great. So yeah, that was all over the place. Thank you for listening to that little rant for a second. Now let's bring it all down. Let's contain that energy. I'm feeling really joyful because everything loaded and I got it all good and dandy. And I hope you're not too dizzy as I was walking around in a circle. I've actually made time for a video today. Hey, all this to say, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. I've been thinking about aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas and all of them, and they have this cliche phrase that they tell you when you're bashing your head against something and can't quite figure it out. Where there's a will, there's a way, honey. Great. In hindsight, you love them to death and you're so glad that they were supportive, but at the time, you're just frustrated. You're like, yeah, I've got a lot of will, and the way isn't opening up. It's not working out. All these wrenches in the gears of what I'm trying to do, it's just breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking, and it's not working. But you kind of just keep at it. You try something new and try something new. That's the beauty of the scientific method, right? Like, you have a hypothesis and you test it and you get some results from that, and you tweak the hypothesis and you test again. And I think a lot of my brain follows along the insanity path a little bit more, where you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. You stare at your code for so long, and you're like, it should work. This should work. Why is it working? What is going wrong? And you just feel insane. But you change a little thing, and you test it, and you check logs, and figure it out, and it all works out. Where there's a will, there's a way. This is a pattern that keeps coming up in my life over and over again. It's like you need to make something happen. And so you find the way forward. You figure out a way forward. And yeah, I'm going to make another video here soon about tending orchards and the slow path towards success. But I just wanted to post something a little manic here so you can see the sheer frustration that can come about when you choose to go into IT of any field. There's going to be days that are fingernail biting. No, what's the right way to say it? It's like, it's frustrating. There's going to be days that are frustrating. But hey, if it's the path for you and you think you can differentiate yourself to get into the field, you can do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. You'll figure it out. So, good luck to anyone out there dealing with any kind of CSRF token problems, uh, getting different services to talk together, or figuring out why something isn't loading. I really hope that your software issues get sorted out quick, because it feels really good after you get it done. All right, I'm gonna go take a shower or something. I probably smell like a foot.